We have a little 2-year-old girl over here who wants to say something. What is it you want to say, sweetheart? All right, back to you.
Who fought it?
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 I'm vlogging. I'm back. I feel so good to finally come back and be back for good. There's some serious things I want to kind of bring up. You know, I started my YouTube channel when I was like 17 years old. I was in high school. I was doing it for beauty. I was doing it for my acting career and I enjoyed it. It was a really good time. Nobody did it to get paid. It just was a really great hobby. And so I like had an epiphany, if you will, and was reminded that I enjoyed this for what it was. I didn't need the money. I didn't need the fame. I didn't need any of that. I did it because it was joy for me and it was a hobby and it was something I enjoyed doing. So I want to bring that style back to the channel and do things that just make me happy. And whether I get paid for it, whether I get a subscriber today or tomorrow, I don't want that to be the end goal. Of course, it's amazing to have people follow along. It's gonna be amazing if I can make a career out of it, but if that's not in the books for me, it's not. Obviously, I'm gonna work towards that though, so I'm just gonna put that out there. Of course, I'm like, that'd be amazing. My kids are constantly loud and busy and there's a lot going on, and the old me would be like, oh, I gotta wait until they're chill, but like now, welcome to the chaos. Is something in your mouth? A chip is stuck in your mouth? I'm vlogging again. I am gonna finish editing tonight. I have a couple things, which is why I'm even in here in the first place. I got a couple stuff I gotta do for my client before I wrap things up. I finished editing my vlog up to the point that I really wanted to, but I feel like I want to add just a little bit more footage. This is all the way back in January, so I honestly just did not think I vlogged at all from the point that I'm at now, maybe like 1 or 2 times. I lost, and I'm gonna be frank and like honest about this. I was kind of afraid being honest about this, to be honest with you, because I felt like people would just go away. Like people would be like, okay, she's not taking YouTube seriously. There's been so many people who have just like left YouTube, who built a, you know, business from it, and people used YouTube to get bigger and then all of a sudden just like left it, or they started making things where you had to pay for it. Lots of different things happen. There's legit something wrong with our internet now. I just feel like a lot of YouTubers have neglected people in the sense of, I don't feel like YouTubers owe, or any influencer, any content creator owes anybody anything. But what I do feel is like, if you have spent time getting people engaged with your content, getting people interested in you, it is frustrating seeing people just drop off and they just like, all right, I'm done. I didn't want people to feel like I was neglecting YouTube or I was going anywhere, so I just really didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to put like a weird taste in people's mouth. Long story short, I am back. I lost my love for it for a little bit. What I noticed was happening was I was comparing myself a lot to other creators. A lot of other creators had legit overnight success, and that was frustrating for me because here I was doing it for so many years and I just wasn't seeing the success that I really felt like I deserved in my channel and my just overall career. The other thing that I was suffering from, which was the first time this has ever happened, I feel like I was getting discouraged seeing a ton of big content creators finding my page, I guess like knowing I exist and being completely uninterested in following or having any kind of interaction. That made me feel some type of way because I'm like, why am I not good enough? And it really gave me that type of feeling. So anyway, that made me feel some type of way. I'm like, why is my content not good enough? Why are people not interested in me? I feel like that's a pretty understandable feeling to have. So I just was feeling kind of down in the dumps the last couple of months, and I think it was Vlogmas that really broke my spirits because I had never uploaded that long in years, or that many days in a row in years. I mean, I did all of Vlogmas and I was really proud of myself, and I felt like I was trying to show that I was committed and that I was going to be consistent, and I felt like I was trying to prove that. And unfortunately it didn't work for me because I was getting like 40 views. Sorry, we're having a lot of issues with the internet tonight, so my husband's trying to figure out what's going on. I was just getting really down in the dumps. I was like, I'm trying to prove that like I am here, I'm gonna upload, I'm gonna be consistent. And so I stayed on that train, and I was getting like 40 views a video. And back in the day, I mean, I was getting thousands of views, and then I understood why like those views dropped off. You know, I wasn't posting as much, and then I started getting only hundreds of views, and then I legit would get at the very minimum 100 views. I felt like that was like, okay, like that's okay, I guess. And then now I'm getting like 40 views a video, and for me that just made me feel really crappy, and it just didn't make me feel good. So I just kind of lost that zest for uploading to YouTube. It's just such a saturated industry, but I still feel like I have something, I know I'm different enough to be able to bring some valuable content over here. So I'm not giving up or anything, but I definitely lost my love for it the last couple of months, but I want to bring that back. Anyways, I just wanted to be upfront and honest and open up about that type of stuff. It was my daughter's birthday this last weekend. She just turned 2, and I feel like the older that they're getting, the more time I can actually focus on other things. Something that I struggle with is if I'm overwhelmed in one category of my life, it's really hard for me to turn that part of my life off and focus on something else. Like I have to like fix what is making me overwhelmed. And when it comes to motherhood, like you can't fix your children. Like my children weren't a problem to fix. It was just somewhere where I was getting overwhelmed. I had 2 children, you know, I was a 2 under 2 mom, so my kids are very close in age and they're both very young, and so they need mommy all the time, and I'm with them all the time. So I always applaud the parents who are able to put content out there and be able to stay focused on their work when they have young children, because I struggle with it. Alright, y'all, we went to TJ Maxx. Hello, by the way, it's Friday. Kids and I went to TJ Maxx because I was like, well, Hubs is busy. Let's let him do his project. We'll venture out to TJ Maxx. See if we can't find anything fun. Mother's Day's this weekend. Let's get mom something. That's usually where I find a lot of fun stuff for her. Venture out. My daughter was so bad. Good girl. Loves her mommy, loves her daddy, but she wants to do what she wants to do. And she decided that the stroller is for the pigs. It took one time, and I warned my husband this would happen. I did not want her to learn what it was like to walk inside of a store. I wanted her to always be in the stroller until I was ready for her, or till I knew she would listen to me. One time it took of letting her be out of the stroller, and now she will not. She'll sit in it for me at the beginning, and the second her brother asks to get down, she does. And she panics, screams, doesn't care how loud she is, throws a whole temper tantrum in the store. And I know most people, number one, ignore it, could care less, or number two, understand. They get it, especially when a mom's by herself. It's like, you feel so for them, right? I always have to, even before kids, I always felt for the mom, like, I'm so sorry. And it doesn't matter. You could be grade A, top-notch, greatest mom in the world, and your kids will still act up. It's part of growing. It's how they learn. It is part of the development. If they didn't act up, it'd be kind of weird. So she is just in a very difficult stage going out. Definitely learned my lesson today that she's just not my good little shopper anymore. That was a bust. Didn't find anything for my mom. But hello, what is up? Happy Saturday. We are headed to Kohl's because I want to try and see if I can find a dress for tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to church and my daughter will be dedicated. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. Holy moly. I just spent a lot of money, but also at the same time made out like a Bandit. I found 2 dresses that I absolutely love, but I want my husband to see which one he likes better. I've always never known what to wear under a dress, so I found underwear. They have it in like full booty, they had them in brief, and they had them in thong. Why I didn't know that these existed, I don't know. My problem area, my booty, and my lower belly, the mommy poot, both of those are my main problem areas, and I feel like I'd feel more confident if they were just being held. I did very well. I ended up finding a necklace, y'all. TJ Maxx. Tiffany Beeston is the worst at putting out feelers, like what she gets at TJ Maxx or where she gets stuff at stores, and she and I have like such a similar taste in certain things, so I have to go. She posted this photo of this cup. She said she got it at TJ Maxx. It was very interesting looking back on the last 4 years, because I have gone through so many different developments just myself. I've gone through so many different life changes of nothing my life changing, but like my personality changing, or my thought, that is the word I'm going for. My thought process on things have changed so much in the last 4 years since having my son. I went from feeling so tied down to my house. I just felt like I was so tied to it. I couldn't go do things. I wasn't allowed to be my own person anymore. It was really hard for me to separate being a mom versus being my own person, realizing or thinking I wasn't, allowed to be my own person, to I'm my own person and I'm so much better this way. There's just a lot of different mindsets that you go through when you're a mom, and it's stuff that I really want to talk about more on YouTube, and I want to talk about and make it more like forefront in a lot of people's minds. I feel like maybe say 6 or 7 years ago, I feel like YouTube became a place where everybody just wanted to become a mom, and everyone wanted to make mommy content. Everybody wanted to have that family channel. That was really big. And I felt like a lot of people just started having kids. And that's not a bad thing. But people on YouTube are very good, and on social media in general, are very good at making it seem like parenthood is just easy. That it's just your kids tag along with you wherever you go, and there's no hidden stress, there's no hidden negative sides of anything. They just are really good at putting their best content forward. Before you're a parent, everybody has their thoughts on how they're gonna do things, and they think that their opinions and their thoughts and their ways of doing things will be the best, right? Well, guess what? There's just so many ways of doing things, and there's so many ways of looking at things. It's just not what you think it is until you're in the thick of parenthood. Things are hard, some things are easy, and not only that, it's not like my son or my family did anything wrong by making me feel like I needed to be home all the time. That was just a natural reaction or a natural thought I had. Anyway, I'm done. My parents are coming over tonight, so I was such a dummy, and yesterday my mom texted me, I don't know, maybe 2, 3 in the afternoon, and was like, hey, do you want to do dinner? I'll bring food, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, for sure. I get everything all ready. I'm assuming they're coming last night. It's 30 minutes after the time she said she'd be coming over. And so at this point, I'm getting kind of nervous, because my mom's the type, she will tell you, she's running late. So I'm getting a little nervous at this point. And so I text her and I was like, hey, I just want to see if everything was okay. And then when I text her, I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and make sure I read it right, that she wants to have dinner tonight. She clear as day put, would you like to have dinner tomorrow night? So I thought it was last night. They're coming over tonight. This is the cup that Tiffany Beeson just had to share on her stories one day. It's like this very beautiful pink. Like it's like probably my #1 favorite pink color. I love it. You guys know I've been into my Yeti. I still love my Yeti. My Yeti has been my go-to. Like I would not hesitate to throw out my Hydro Flask, except for there's one that I would probably hold on to, but the rest, like, I would probably get rid of. If you guys can get your hands on the 46 ounce Yeti, do it. Definitely my favorite pink color. Hands down, the best color. On these clips, super cute, but I saw this one, and I had no idea that Universal Thread even had sterling silver necklaces, but I saw this, it caught my eye from far away, just a super small dainty thing.
Every change has a reason.